Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Haley. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this style of skirt right here. It has a flat front waist and an elastic back. This style is super easy to make, and you can make it for any size that you'd like. Also, stay tuned to the end because I will be doing a giveaway for this skirt. It's a size 3 to 6 month, so I'll be announcing all of the rules for that at the end. Otherwise, if you're just here because you like tutorials, then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. I have tons of other things that I would love to share with you. So let's go ahead and get started with this tutorial. Items you will need for this project are half a yard of fabric, 1-inch elastic, scissors, a ruler, measuring tape, fabric pins, and a safety pin. The first thing you're going to want to do is measure the waist of whoever you're making this skirt for. Once you've got that measurement, go ahead and times that by 2. And I find it easier to cut that measurement in half. So for an example, when I measure a 3 to 6 month, it's going to come out to 31 inches long. However, divide that in half and you come out with 2 pieces that are 15.5 inches. Working with 2 pieces is going to be a little bit easier for this project than 1 long piece. Once you have the waist measured, go ahead and measure from the waist down. I'm doing above the knee, but you can do however long you want. It can be below the knee, at the knee, whatever your preference is. Go ahead and do that and subtract whatever measurement you get by 1. So here I have 2 pieces of fabric that are 15 inches long by 5¼ inches. Because by the end, I want this to be about 6¼ inches long. All right, now once you have those 2 measurements, we're going to go ahead and move on to the waistband. Now the waistbands are going to be pretty simple. It looks confusing, but I promise you it is so easy. You're going to want to start, this is the back piece. So you'll start with this. It's going to be the same length as your main skirt piece. So for me, this is 15.5 inches long by 3¼ inches down. And you do 3¼ because with your 1-inch elastic, you want it to fit in there nicely once you have your seams closed. So this will be the back piece. And now for the front piece, take your waist measurement and divide that in half. Whatever you come up with is going to be the length of the fabric you'll need. So for me, half of 15.5 is 7.75. So this is 7.75 inches by 3¼ inches. So here are our 2 waistband pieces. And last piece you're going to need for this will be your elastic. And your elastic is going to be the same as the front waistband. So it'll be half of whatever your waist measurement is. So mine is 7.75 with a 1-inch elastic. So it's as long as my front waistband piece. All right, now once you have all of those pieces, you should have a total of 5. Once you have that, we can go ahead and start piecing these together. The first step we are going to do is take your front piece, or the piece of fabric that you want to be the front of your skirt. Make sure your pattern is faced right, so the bottom will be here and the top is here. What we're going to do is do a loose stitch right along here. I'm going to do 2 rows of a loose stitch or gathering stitch. If you don't know how to do a gathering stitch, don't worry, I'm about to show you right now. Right now at my sewing machine, this is my regular settings. So my 3 and my 6. What you want to do is go over to your chart and look for the longest stitch possible. For me, it's a 10. So I'll move that to a 10. And then here is where the gathering stitch comes into play. So you'll move it to a larger number, and that is going to be how loose the stitch will be. So I go at about a 6. Any longer and I find that the fabric starts to bunch up as I'm sewing, and we do not want that. So I have mine for a gathering stitch set at 6 and a 10. Alright, for this gathering stitch, you will want to pull the tails out a little further than you usually have them. And I do about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, so not much at all, just enough to catch the fabric. With the gathering stitch, you do not want to back stitch at all. Back stitching will hold that stitch into place. We do not want that. So what you're going to do is leave it open, sew all the way to the end, and do not back stitch at the end either. Just leave a long tail. That is done. I have 2 rows. So I'm going to take the front 2 thread pieces here, just like that, and leave the back ones hanging. And I'm going to go ahead and pull. And you'll notice that it starts to gather, which is exactly what we want. You'll gather this fabric to the same length as the front of your waistband. So you'll want it to match up in the end. So for me, I'm going to do it at about 7.75 inches. So let's go ahead and gather. Once you have that piece gathered, you want to take the front piece waistband, and we're going to put pretty sides together, or right sides together. Line up those edges and go ahead and pin it into place if it's easier for you. I'm going to take this over to my serger and serge it. If you don't have a serger, just go over to your sewing machine and do a zigzag stitch along the edge. After you have that put together, it should look something like this. The next step is going to be take both of your back pieces, and we're going to go ahead and do pretty sides together. And then you'll want to serge or zigzag stitch these 2 pieces together. Now you should have 2 pieces that look something like this. Now to put these 2 pieces together, the pretty sides together, line up the edges, serge those 2 pieces together here or zigzag stitch, and then go ahead and do it to the other side as well. There it is put together. And now we're going to clean up the edges here. I'm going to serge these edges, but if you don't have a serger, go ahead and zigzag stitch along the edges. Now that the edges are all cleaned up, you'll go to the bottom of the skirt. We're going to leave the top alone right now. Go to the bottom of the skirt, and you'll fold that serged or zigzag stitched edge in. If it's easier for you, go ahead and press that down with an iron, making it even all the way around. Otherwise, now just go over to your sewing machine, set your settings back to your regular stitch, and just sew that into place. You have all of that closed in, you'll go ahead and go to the top of the skirt, fold that in half so that it looks like that. So here's the front. We're going to leave this opened right here. So we're not going to sew that shut yet, but we will go ahead and take it over the sewing machine and sew the back closed. Grab your piece of elastic with a safety pin to the end, We're going to go through the part that you did not sew closed, so the front part, and thread that up. You're just going to thread it enough to where the end of the elastic comes up to the end of where the front seam is. And we're going to sew that into place. Alright, so as you can see, the elastic is right on the seam. So take that over to your sewing machine and sew that into place. Alright, went ahead and sewed the first elastic, the first side of the elastic into place, and I threaded it through and sewed it into place on the other side, still leaving the front elastic free and open. So now the last step is go ahead and sew the front part closed. And there it is, the finished skirt. So easy and super cute. Even in the fall, you can pair it with some leg warmers, and it's so adorable. So now let's get to the rules of the giveaway. If you would like to win this 3 to 6 month skirt, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, like this video, and head on over to my Instagram, and I'll leave that link in the description below. Head over there and comment on the picture of this skirt with a thumbs up, and I will know that you have done all 3 of those. And the person that has, next Monday I will be DMing you through Instagram, so keep an eye on those DMs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!